what could be the resolution to it? I mean, because I was reading through it, and Flores, through his legal counsel, was asking for committees to be set up and demand that owners put in writing exactly why somebody was fired, and as well as create a money pool for for the, I guess, promotion of candidates of color. I'm trying to figure out what he's looking for and what could be done to actually improve the Rooney Rule, which I think everybody involved agrees needs improvement for sure.
And some of that may have been for the benefit of the media. Look, what you get in court is typically he's asked for what they call injunctive relief, where a court says that you must do X, Y, and Z. And first you got to get a finding of liability. The usual outcome is the payment of monetary damages. But through a settlement process, you get whatever the two sides agree to. And he could ask for certain terms unrelated to the payment of any money. And if they can reach an agreement, then that's all that matters. But first, the league has to be motivated to reach an agreement. And this gets into how the legal business works. Look, the firms that represent companies like this, and I worked at one when my legal career first started back in 1991, and the managing partner of the firm was visiting our office, and the thing he said that I will never forget, we aspire to represent cost-insensitive clients, which means they're not going to complain about how much the bill is every month. They don't care if we put umpteen lawyers on the file. You want big cases with big companies, with big stakes, and that's how you make your money as one of these firms. And you don't make your money if right out of the gates the big client in the big stakes litigation says, maybe we should resolve this and make it go away. So this is all pointing toward a fight, not a resolution, and they'll probably regret it at the end of the day. Hey, maybe, you know what, maybe it'll all work out for them. Maybe they'll... But, Rich, I mean, the evidence has been hiding in plain sight. It's obvious to anyone who's paying attention. There's an issue with the representation of black coaches as head coaches, given the number of black players, the number of black assistant coaches. Historically, it has been abysmal, and it was just a matter of time before somebody decided, I'm going to be the one to put my name on the fight against the NFL for something that we all know. We all know it's been a problem. So this is a mess for the NFL, and I don't like how they've handled it so far. We'll see by next Wednesday when the commissioner meets with the media at the demo field at the NFL Network headquarters at SoFi Stadium. We'll see what he has to say when he's asked some questions about it. That's going to be an occasion for him to earn some of that $65 million a year.
So let me ask you this then. What about the idea of Flores getting hired? I mean, if you want to just put it in brass tacks, a win-win around is that, number one, Flores is employed as he deserves to be. Two, an organization gets an outstanding coach. And three, that organization might get some heat amongst some of the owners when they walk into a membership room. But in essence, that is a way to tell whoever's adjudicating this case, guy got hired. So what about that?
Well, and listen, Rich, one of the great strategies from the defense standpoint, if you believe that you are in the wrong and that you are facing a significant outcome through trial, you offer the plaintiff a job. And I've had that happen with my clients in the past, and sometimes they've taken it. And I think that sometimes the company didn't expect them to take it. But they could offer Brian Flores, and see, this gets difficult for the NFL. It gets into antitrust issues because these are all 32 separate businesses, and the league can't really tell or hint or advise. But if, for example, the Saints would offer Brian Flores their head coaching job, that seems to be the team right now that's considering him. If they'd offer him the job, now, if he'd say no, well, why are you saying no? You know, that becomes an issue in the litigation. Hey, you had an opportunity. We offered you an offer. Well, it wasn't real. You know, it was only because I sued. That becomes a separate skirmish. Or he says yes. And, you know, does that take some of the steam out of the litigation? But hopefully the Saints consider him. I mean, ideally, and we know ideally doesn't happen very often, but ideally they consider him and they make a decision on who their best candidate is, regardless of whether or not he's pursued this litigation. There's a lot of people out there that think it's okay to retaliate against someone who's sued, like, how dare you sue? We're never going to hire you again. That's a separate violation of the law if it happens. You can't retaliate against somebody who has advanced their legal rights. And hopefully he won't be blackballed, And maybe, just maybe the Saints. And, the Saints have issues with the league office dating back to Bountygate. Maybe the Saints think they're sticking to the league office a little bit if they would hire him. But it would actually help the league, I think, if Brian Flores got back in sooner rather than later.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.